Good morning.
Welcome to the April 25th, 2017 General Session of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners. We will begin this morning's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Boyce.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. This is National Reentry Week. So this morning we have some guests from the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in attendance. We have with us, if you guys want to come on up, we have with us a few folks. Major Michael Turner, who leads the Jackson Pike facility and the CIT program. Major Turner and Lieutenant Edward Schillig. We'll talk about reentry and recidivism and the crisis reintervention training and the CIT program. If you want to come over to the microphone over here, guys. If you could introduce yourselves for the record, that would be fantastic.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Lieutenant Edward Schillig, First Shift Patrol.
Major Michael Turner. I oversee the day-to-day operations at the Jackson Pike Facility Jail.
Major, last time I saw you, your arm was in a sling.
Yes, sir.
It looks like it's doing better. Good. Well, you guys want to go ahead and...
Okay, first, I was here to talk about an incident we had on March 27th, where CIT training was utilized very successfully. It's up on Cosgray Road up in Washington Township. It was a male. Information came from Northwest Mental Health. They called stating that a male had a pistol in his hand, was stating he wanted to die and was willing to fight to the end. He had taken an entire bottle of sleeping pills, and his wife was on scene. As units started to respond, they found out he did not have a gun, but he did have a knife, wanted to kill himself with a knife. In that case, the medics don't go in right away. They staged on the road. They staged. Several of my deputies responded. They found the male laying on the kitchen floor with a 12-inch butcher knife to his neck. He initially said he was distraught over recent problems in his marriage, and he had been suffering from consistent back pain from an injury for years, was tired of it, and wanted to die. Initially, he wasn't very responsive. A couple of my deputies, including Deputies Randall and Damschroeder, were able to talk to him. Deputy Randall got down closer to his level, started talking to him, and was able to convince him to give up the knife. I was responding from far away. By the time I got there, he was walking out peacefully to the medic, where they transported him to get mental health treatment at an area hospital. Luckily, this was able to be done without any type of force, no taser, less lethal, anything like that had to be used.
Lieutenant, did he have any prior arrest record or anything?
We've had a couple calls there before for domestic violence issues. I think this was the first one we had at that address for mental health.
Do you know how he's doing now? Is he getting continuing treatment?
That I couldn't tell you.
Okay. And I know when we talk about CIT, we're talking about crisis intervention training for the public that doesn't know what that is. And can you talk a little bit about the importance of that training as your officers are out on the street, what that does?
To me, and I've been through the training myself too, to me CIT is just teaches you a manner in which to talk to somebody, teaches you to have empathy, and to help talk a sort of language that they understand. I mean, before CIT, I never knew to ask anybody, who are you affiliated with? That's a big key, because if they have prior interaction with the mental health system, they usually get affiliated with someone, or they feel more comfortable going to a place, whether it's Netcare, OSU, if they're 14 or under, taking them to Children's, as opposed to trying to treat them like an adult or just trying to pawn them off on Children's Services. Just sort of opens your eyes up to some of the resources available for us to use and being able to interact with them just in more of a manner of which they can understand, and also helps the officer understand what the person going through the mental health crisis, because a lot of times they're not in the same reality that we are. They're hearing things that aren't there, they're seeing things that are there that they're seeing, they may be seeing in a different manner than what we are.
I just want to point out that, I mean, I think the illustration around mental health support and needs is not only crucial in that situation, but as we think about the new county jail facility that we're building and having mental health resources there, how significant that will be in terms of managing folks who do end up coming through the system one way or another. And I just think that's not just innovative, but it's the approach of the day. It is much more needed than incarceration services or even rehabilitation services. Mental health services or mental health strategies are a critical way of dealing with, those crisis situations that many times are just that, a crisis situation, and can be dealt with in a unique way, as opposed to the sort of corrective nature that we tend to take. So I just want to point out, how the new jail will have these resources more readily available to think about that in big picture.
Well, Lieutenant, your example kind of highlights a perfect example of how there's an intersection of a lot of the things that we as county government get involved in, from behavioral and mental health to law enforcement. So, we as county commissioners, obviously through the sheriff's department, we help fund and are involved with all sorts of law enforcement activity. But at the same time, we, through a lot of our agencies, or a few of our agencies, we are involved with and have been involved with behavioral and mental health. And so it's like an intersection there, and so it's the training that you guys have been involved with, and how you guys handle it in the law enforcement arena is fantastic, and it's great stuff that you guys are doing, and it's fantastic how you're able to serve the community in that way. We, through a few of our other agencies, at the same time are dealing with behavioral and mental health. It's just kind of it's part of who we are and what we do as county commissioners, and so it's a great example, and we appreciate you coming here and sharing that today.
Good.
So, Major Turner, if you want to.
Can we hear about what you're doing that is innovative and unique in county government and in jails in particular, with your work in Jackson Pike and in the jails in general? Because you've done some very innovative work to prevent recidivism and help people stay out of the jail once they get out.
Thank you for that compliment there. I would touch on a few things. This being National Reentry Week there, we have been very fortunate to have many partnerships. So what we have done that is somewhat unique is we have aligned ourselves with community stakeholders. So Homeland Security has been a big help to us. So Kathy Crandall, who is present today, her along with Melissa Pearson came up with a program for a specific group of women, which is the Pathways program. So that is an 8-week program. So what they basically work with these women to try to teach them that they should think about the decisions that they have made, and for them to now make the right decisions. So we have embedded CIT officers within that program as well. So the city has a CIT officer we have a CIT officer. So with this Pathways program, we hope to do a soft handoff back into the community there, because we realize that the jails basically became the de facto mental health. So when I took over the Jackson Pike facility there, I was able to get the NIC, which is that National Institute of Corrections, to come in, and we evaluated what a program would be like for corrections, because there are no programs in corrections to deal with the mentally ill. So CIT has always been offered to patrol, which is offered through Columbus Police Department and the Adam H Board that put that on. So when the CIT came in, they kind of showed us a program, but NIC, being the National Institute of Corrections, deals with prisons. So I had to modify that to make it work within the jails. So in 2015, we were able to put on our first class through the NIC. Then after they left, it was up to us as the county to be able to sustain it. So I've been very fortunate to have the backing of the administration as well as the commissioners with this program. So we have 30 participants that come to that class. We have various topics which are somewhat unique, which makes it different from the patrol aspect of CIT. Has the same principle, works the same way. But within corrections, we're the keeper of those people. So patrol, as I recognize it, they only deal with them for 20 minutes. We have them for 3 weeks, 6 months, a year. So we only have 3 clinicians in there. They work Monday through Friday, come 4:30, they're gone. So what we have done is we created the CIT program. So in 15 I ran 1 class, in 16 I ran 2. This year I will run 3 classes. So we were trying to get the majority of those in corrections the education on how to be able to recognize someone with mental illness when they come within the facility, so that we can possibly reach out to see if they are linked, and to reach out to those stakeholders within the community to try to come in and make sure that they continue to get that continuity of care that they're entitled to. So we've been very successful with the CIT. So we also invite 2 other agencies to come in, because the thing is, we're trying to get other jails to start their own program. So by inviting those officers to come in, hopefully they will go back and they will sustain their own program. So we're very fortunate there that last year Adam H had a program for mental health first aid. So they had a train-the-trainer class. So we were very fortunate to be able to send the 2 individuals that I have that are sergeants there to run a CIT program. They went to that. So basically that is just an 8-hour class, where crisis intervention training is 40 hours. But with mental health first aid, it only gives you just a small amount of knowledge. It just gets you interested in wanting to take the CIT class. So when January rolled around, we are required to do in-service training. So when January rolled around, everyone that is sworn and in a uniform receive mental health first aid. So both jails, downtown and the Pike, they all receive the mental health first aid. So that is now will become a prerequisite, since we give them a small amount of knowledge to want to take the CIT class. Because we try to tell them that these people in the community, there's a reason why they continue to come in. So it's up to us to try to reduce the recidivism as much as we can. So if we kind of understand them and we can get them the help that they need and keep them engaged on the outside, we won't see them as much coming back on the inside there. So that's why we try to do pretty much of a soft handoff. As far as reentry programs, we have the Pathways program. The other program that we have is called Life Skills. So with the Life Skills, what happens is we have a group of computers set up in a room, and we bring the inmates in and we try to teach them resume writing, how to search for employment once you get out. We've also incorporated Clean Turn, which is run by Mr. Rush. He comes in, puts on a class for the individuals to teach them about how to seek employment, because once you get arrested, you come to jail, sometimes it's hard to find employment. So there are a lot of different things that we are constantly doing to try to improve our interaction with the community.
so important and very much appreciated, because once somebody has a criminal record, it's very difficult on the outside to get a second chance. But if we as a community don't give people that second chance, what other thing can people do but to get back into jail? Because if you can't support your family with a good job and a home and all of the support services, you have no choice but to go back into a situation where you're going to get picked up and end up back in jail or prison. So it's up to us as a community to give people that second chance.
Yes, it is very much so.
So thank you for all that you in law enforcement are doing to help us with our goals in trying to reduce recidivism, give people second chances.
Reentry, recidivism, behavioral health, mental health, these are huge issues in our community. We appreciate all the work you guys are doing. Really do. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We need a motion for the approval of the minutes of April 11th, 2017 general session and the March 30th, 2017 briefing session.
So move.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Minutes have been approved.
All right, the data center.
Resolution number 271-17, authorizing a contract with the Data Systems Integration Group, Incorporated, for programming services associated with the web redesign project in the amount of $109,200.
Good morning, Julie Lest with the Franklin County Data Center. This resolution approves a supplemental contract based off of a state contract for programming services associated with our web redesign, which is a countywide project. We were able to negotiate a price slightly lower than the state price, and pending any questions, I do request your approval of this resolution.
Okay. If there are no comments or questions, move for passage.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 271-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 272-17, authorizing a contract with Massey Incorporated for staff augmentation services in the amount of $107,120.
Thank you. And this resolution is also for a supplemental contract to a state contract. It is for a COBOL programmer, which is one of our legacy programming languages, and this will be for services for maintenance of programs until we can retire them. And pending any questions, I do request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of Resolution 272-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 272-17 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, Julie. Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 273-17, authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Colleen Jones at 1394 Rose Hill Road, Reynoldsburg, Ohio, 43068.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jamie Edwards with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department. I do have 10 resolutions this morning. The first is Colleen Jones. She did receive $15,000 in March of 2002. The obligations of the housing program have been fulfilled, and the mortgage should be discharged. The taxes are paid in current. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of Resolution 273-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 273-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 274-17, authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Sana Lunsford at 2763 Woodland Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, 43211.
Sonia Lunsford received $4,355 in July of 2007. The obligations of the housing program have been fulfilled, and the mortgage should be discharged. The taxes are paid in current. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 274-17.
Second.
Moved and second in voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 274-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 275-17, authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Beverly Joe Gilliard at 5444 Norton Road, Grove City, Ohio, 43123.
Beverly Joe Gillian received $15,000 in March of 1989. The obligations of the housing program have been fulfilled and the mortgage should be discharged. The taxes are paid in current. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 275-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 275-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 276-17, authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Juliana M. Seipel at 4094 Franklin Street, Grove City, Ohio, 43123.
Juliana Seipel received $2,892 in December of 2010. The obligations of the housing program have been fulfilled and the mortgage should be discharged. The taxes are paid in current. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
Move for passage of 276-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 276-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 277-17, authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Della M. Crawford at 3761 Santa Maria, Grove City, Ohio, 43123.
Della Crawford received $15,000 in October of 1999. The obligations of the housing program have been fulfilled and the mortgage should be discharged. The taxes are paid in current. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 277-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 277-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 278-17, authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Wayne Parr at 3832 Kennard Court, Whitehall, Ohio, 43213.
Wayne Parr received $15,000 in February of 1998. The obligations of the housing program have been fulfilled and the mortgage should be discharged. The taxes are paid in current. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
Move for passage of 278-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 278-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 279-17, authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of a mortgage instrument for Sharon L. Petty at 475 Elm Street, Groveport, Ohio, 43125.
Sharon Petty received $20,000 in September of 1995. The obligations of the housing program have been fulfilled and the mortgage should be discharged. The taxes are paid in current. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
Move for passage of 279-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 279-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 280-17, authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Jean A. Gary at 4040 Ross Road, Whitehall, Ohio, 43213.
Jean Gary received $14,996 in November of 2001. The obligations of the housing program have been fulfilled and the mortgage should be discharged. The taxes are paid in current. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
Move for passage of 280-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 280-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 281-17, authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Diane Bowen at 3819 Missouri Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, 43219.
Diane Bowen received $2,120 in January of 2007. The obligations of the housing program have been fulfilled and the mortgage should be discharged. The taxes are paid in current. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
Move for passage of 281-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 281-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 282-17, authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Everett and Ruth Emma Curry at 123 Rita Court, Whitehall, Columbus, Ohio, 43213.
Everett and Ruth Curry received $14,963 in September of 1997. The obligations of the housing program have been fulfilled, and the mortgage should be discharged. The taxes are paid in current. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
Move for passage of 282-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes. Congratulations.
Resolution number
fantastic.
282-17 has been adopted.
These are really good programs that we have, and the people that have had these mortgages and paid their taxes and had these second mortgages discharged, this is really
people
good.
all got
We
loans.
laugh, and
Well,
this is important.
These people all got
stuff, and
loans to
we-
improve their homes. They all paid them off.
Yes,
This is
You know,
wonderful.
and we're releasing their loans, and,
Yes.
you know, this is great
Good.
stuff.
yes, it's a relief not to have a second lien on your house.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny, we
This is
went through
great.
these things, and we did 10 of them, and,
And
you
we
know.
laugh, yeah.
But
But it is important.
it's great stuff.
It's good.
They were all small loans, they paid them all off, they improved their homes, you know, and now they're done paying for them.
Yes,
Hooray for them, you
Yeah.
know?
everybody's happy.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Thank you.
Resolution number 283-17, authorizing the partial assignment and assumption of Fifth Amendment to the Community Reinvestment Agreement, Area Agreement between Franklin County and Pizzuti Creekside 20 LLC.
Good morning, Commissioners. Josh Roth, Franklin County Economic
This is going to not be nearly as exciting.
No, not at all. So the final resolution that we have for you today concerns a community reinvestment area tax abatement agreement with Pizzuti Land LLC in our Hamilton Township Community Reinvestment Area.
Oh, that's right, this is the old golf course.
Yes, sir.
And Wedge.
So in 2015, Pizzuti completed the construction of the building at 6054 Shook Road in December, and they are looking to sell this building to a subsidiary of Pinchel & Company, which is a Texas-based real estate management firm. And the purpose of this resolution is to amend the original agreement for a fifth time and assign the rights and benefits of the agreement to Pinchel, and then Pinchel will in turn assume the obligations of the program. So pending any questions, we ask for your approval.
There are no comments or questions. Move for passage of 283-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 283-17 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. Homeland Security and Justice Programs.
Resolution number 284-17, to renew service agreement with Emerson Network Power Liebert Services for maintenance of uninterruptible power sources on the 800 megahertz radio communication system in the amount of $5,997.60.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kathy Crandall, Homeland Security and Justice Programs. Resolution 284-17 is a critical contract agreement to maintain the power to our 800 megahertz digital communications system and make sure that it operates without failure or interruption, so I highly recommend your approval.
Board, move for passage of 284-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 284-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 285-17, authorizing sub-grant awards and contracts for service to provide victim services and enhance law enforcement and prosecution under the fiscal year 2016 STOP Violence Against Women Act Block Grant in the amount of $200,252.17.
Commissioners, this resolution authorizes the sub-grant awards to the Columbus City Attorney's Office. It will support the law enforcement stalking advocate and the specialized prosecution units, both for domestic violence and sexual assault. There's also an award to Mount Carmel Health Systems to support individual and group therapeutic treatment for victims of domestic violence, stalking and sexual assault, and dating violence has been added this year. And in collaboration with Franklin County Prosecutor's Office, we will be updating our current multilingual resource guide for our victims as they come into the difficult both physical layout and work their way through the criminal justice system as a victim. We're updating that guide and improving the multilingual options. So, pending any questions, I recommend your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 285-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 285-17 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Community partnerships.
Resolution number 286-17, authorizing a contract with Physicians Care Connection to provide comprehensive health care services to under and uninsured Franklin County residents in the amount of $300,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dana McCrary with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution funds Physicians Care Connection and supports their work in providing transportation to and from the clinic, interpretation services, in addition to what's really important, the coordinated care. They see people in the clinic and then provide a warm handoff to another physician so that they can receive follow-up care. And they really emphasize following through on those appointments with the handoff physician so that they will not need to be seen in the clinic in the future. So I had the opportunity to visit there last evening, and I still really do honestly believe that they are doing God's work over in that clinic. And I'm very pleased today to have Mary Mutegi here, who is the program coordinator with Physicians Care Connection. And if there are no other questions, pending any questions, then I would recommend passage of the resolution.
Mary, do you want to come on up and add anything? It's up to you.
You can use this microphone if you'd like.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support that you provided to us before. With the healthcare needs still being unmet in this community, we are still seeing a very large population of the uninsured. Also, a little bit with insured, so underinsured, as the Medicare folks that don't have dental coverage, we're able to provide dentures for them, and it's quite a large number. We're building a lot of partnerships in the community that we can provide ongoing care for the community that we serve. So we really appreciate your support so much, and we hope you continue supporting us. Thank you.
I know the work that you do is so important, and I'm very happy we're able to support you as we have in the past. I know that the dental work in particular is something that's just so important and needed in this community. There's a shortage of dental work for people that can't afford to pay a dentist, and people don't often realize that dental care is a health issue in addition to just your teeth and gums. Poor dental care can lead to all kinds of heart issues and lung and other health issues, and so I'm so thrilled that you're able to do the work that you do. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your support.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 286-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 286-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 287-17, authorizing a one-year contract with the Cancer Support Community of Central Ohio to provide support and education for individuals battling cancer and their families in the amount of $75,000.
This next resolution would support Cancer Support Community, and they are unique in that they are really the only cancer-serving organization in Franklin County that's really they provide service, not just the support to research, which is really needed. But when a family gets a diagnosis of cancer, they can come to the cancer support community, receive education to help them make the best decisions for their particular type of cancer, the staging, all of that. So they provide wonderful services, including yoga and meditation, exercises that it may be unsafe for them to participate in if they were to go to a large gym. And even if it was safe, maybe because there may be a patient who's losing their hair, they may not feel comfortable being in that setting. So they really are able to do a lot of unique work. And this year they are developing online resources so that even caregivers and persons facing cancer are able to go to their website and obtain information in the event that they are homebound and can't get out. So pending any questions, I would recommend the passage of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 287-17.
I'll second, and I don't know of a family that hasn't faced a member with cancer or themselves having cancer. I just don't know anybody.
Yeah, Bev Salt and her organization do fantastic work, and they're great people.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 287-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 288-17, authorizing a one-year contract with the Central Ohio Diabetes Association to provide diabetes detection, education, counseling, and other support services in the amount of $75,000.
This resolution would allow us to support the Central Ohio Diabetes Association, who recently Life Care Alliance assumed operation. So to really help shore up that organization financially, they remain committed to their mission. And in fact, it was a natural partnership because Life Care Alliance realized that at least 40 to 50% of the people they were serving had been diagnosed with diabetes. So it's a really great fit for these two organizations. I had the opportunity a while back to visit with the staff at the Diabetes Association, and they were working with a family, a young man who was about to be a freshman in high school. They were new to the community, and they thought it was really depression because he didn't want to go outside, he didn't really know anybody, he seemed kind of lethargic. Really what was going on was his blood sugar was, it was really elevated. It was more than 300. And so he was really on the verge of going into a coma. So they really embraced that mother and the son and provided education on disease management, how to live successfully with the disease, and how to get his blood sugars under control. So I know that they are really providing that important next step of support and work. When you receive that diagnosis and you receive that glucometer, you know, people come into the Diabetes Association really like a deer caught in the headlights looking for, well, what do we do now? So the Diabetes Association really responds with, this is what you do now. So pending any questions, I would recommend passage of the resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 288-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 288-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 289-17, authorizing a one-year contract with the Center of Science and Industry to provide increased access to science and technology education to Franklin County residents in the amount of $75,000.
This resolution really does provide increased access particularly for low-income families, to be able to take advantage of all of the wonderful exhibits that they have at COSI. I was there last week visiting, and it was spring break for Columbus City Schools. So it was busy. However, they have some wonderful new exhibits. They've entered into a partnership with Honda where they have a whole engineering exhibit with a cutaway car and the crash test dummy and everything else. And they also have which I think is a huge plus for this community. They've added a tech center where there are drop-in hours, there's peer mentoring and education, and each person who comes to take advantage of the tech center, you can walk in off of the street and go straight in there. You don't have to pay an admission, you don't have to be a member, and they have amazing things going on in there. They have the 3D printer, they have a green screen studio, they have a sound studio, and any young person who is interested in science and technology can walk through those doors whenever the tech center is open and really receive additional education and support on those issues. So pending any other questions, I would recommend passage of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage 289-17.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 289-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 290-17, authorizing a one-year contract with Children's Hunger Alliance to provide school breakfast, after-school meals, and snacks and summer meals to low-income children in Franklin County in the amount of $125,000.
This resolution really helps Children's Hunger Alliance to do what they do best. They help organizations that are serving youth, schools, community centers, to access the already available federal safety net of child nutrition programs. So because of their work, children who were not receiving breakfast before school, we have increased access, and we know that the research is there that says children who come to school with a full belly are able to concentrate on their learning and to be successful in ways that children who come to school hungry simply are not. And they have really worked to expand access to nutritious meals and snacks, but not just food. They're feeding hungry bodies and minds, so they provide evidence-based education to teach children about how to eat healthful foods and also to get their bodies moving with physical activity. So I really can't say enough good things about the work that Children's Hunger Alliance is doing, helping to make sure that kids have access to that nutritious food, not just during the school year, but throughout the summer as well. And we are very pleased and honored this morning to have Judy Mobley from Children's Hunger Alliance. Judy is the interim CEO, and Scott Neely, who is the Director of Government Affairs.
Judy and Scott, come on up. Good morning.
Good morning.
Commissioners, thank you for having us and giving us this opportunity to talk to you just a little bit about the work we're doing. And as Dana mentioned, as you're probably well aware, we have over 600,000 children in the state of Ohio that are food insecure, which is roughly 1 in 5. So when we think about a classroom, of 25 children, we know that 5 of them probably came this morning and didn't have breakfast. So I'll just share with you a couple examples without going too deep. I could talk about this for hours because it's a mission and it's not hard to get behind. In Southwest City Schools, which is the 6th largest school district in the state of Ohio, this year for the first time we've been able to make inroads in their breakfast program. So let me just share with you. We helped them pilot breakfast in the classroom, which in our opinion is the best way to get the most kids fed in the easiest, quickest amount of time, so it doesn't take away from the learning. They piloted it in 4 of their schools earlier this year, and since implementation, more than 1,300 children are eating breakfast every day, 1,300 additional children, I should say, which is 6,500 meals a week. That's pretty impressive considering that they only started at the first of this school year, and anything takes time to get started. Some of the things that we overcome in breakfast in the classroom is just Sometimes janitorial staff think it'll cause more problems. Sometimes teachers think it will cause more disruption. In fact, what we've found, and when I've gone out and visited schools, and we'd welcome any of you that would like to do that, to join us some morning, we've found that teachers now say their kids actually start in a more calm manner. There's a whole lot less jostling and interaction that might not be positive when it's a first grader just going to their first grade class and eating versus a first grader trying to get food in a line with sixth graders. So some schools that had it a different way, a method, they might have been feeding their kids, but some children would just choose not to deal with the hassle. So again, that's breakfast. I would say our breakfast program is not funded federally. That is a program that the work that we're doing is truly just advocacy work, so we have to find funding, from individual donors, community commissioners such as yourself, and other corporate partners. So that is totally self-funded. Our after-school program, not the same. We do get federal funds through the USDA and then administered by Ohio Department of Education, but those federal funds don't cover the full cost, so we still go out and look for other funding to be able to do that work. I'm happy to say that in Franklin County we have about 100 after-school sites, which is an increase of about 40% over last year. We're finding that the libraries are a great way to, libraries right now in Franklin County are interested in snacks only. They don't really have the staff or the facilities to deal with a food program for an after-school hot meal, which is what we provide to all of our other locations. But they're saying that in their homework help areas, the kids just getting a snack before they start some of that tutoring has made a huge difference in just the program in general. So I'll stop there and thank you again for your previous support and your consideration of this additional support. And Dina, thank you for your support also. Scott, anything you want to add?
No, I just want to thank each of the commissioners. I know we met with you individually. Thank you all for your support. I know Commissioner Boyce, your staff's coming out to after-school visit next month. Any of you are welcome anytime, and we really do appreciate all of your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a great program and so important for the kids to get the nutrition they need, and especially in the summer. I think those kids that don't get regular meals really need that summer programming. And I've been out to those summer programs. I've been out to Reynoldsburg School for the breakfast program in the past. That summer program is just critically important.
Let me just share, up to now, we have only been an advocate also for summer. And this year we are applying to become a summer sponsor. We will probably only sponsor roughly 5 sites, but all here in Franklin County, just as, again, a pilot for us to get our feet wet. But the problem we find with summer is we need to go find somebody that's willing to host it.
Right.
So we can get the reimbursement for them, but if somebody doesn't want to host it, we cannot help that particular area. So summer is so critical because the kids whose families rely on breakfast and lunch don't have anything when it comes to summer. So
over the years, I've spent time in the schools. 'Cause my mom was a librarian, so whenever they asked me to read, I always like to go out and do that. Just, I don't know, my mom, because something that so I spent a lot of time going out and doing that, and I've spent time with some of the principals, and you go out in the morning and you're there when they're feeding the kids breakfast, and I remember being at down on the south side, and in the morning there were a handful of kids standing out in front of the school, and I asked the principal, I said, what are the kids there? There's like 12 kids. And she said those are the only kids that don't qualify for breakfast in the morning. Those are the only ones. They all qualify for lunch. The entire population of the school qualifies for free lunch. Those are the only kids who didn't qualify for breakfast, and there were 12 kids in the entire school. So, the point being, you've got, the entire population of the school that's qualifying, and they've got to be able to feed these kids breakfast and lunch. I have a 9-year-old who I can't get to eat breakfast in the morning, and she's got an entire kitchen full of food, and I can't get her to eat breakfast. And you got kids that are that would love to have something every morning. So I mean, it's this stuff it's the real deal. I mean, we have to force our 9-year-old to eat something before she leaves. But she's more than happy to take a snack with her to school. But It is true, though. They have to have something. They've got to eat something. They study better. They learn better. They're just in a much better place at school if they're well fed and they're, So keep up the great work. It's important.
It is important. How do we hook up with some of our summer programs that we fund, the summer camping, with meals? Do we do that at all?
Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator, Commissioner Brown, President O'Grady, Commissioner Boyce. I think that it hadn't been something that and brought to my attention. We do have a network through our Department of Job and Family Services. We have a network of providers that we work with in the summer. A few years ago, we added a physical fitness component through our RFP process. Certainly, we should be able to make a connection. We did a number of years ago when we were working with the Make Summer Count program. We linked Learn for Life at that time into the the lunch and the summer feeding program. So I would love to try to facilitate a discussion between your organization and our Department of Job and Family Services and our network of providers, and I'm pretty confident. I think that we should be able to work with you to certainly ensure success this summer.
We'd love to do that. I'll leave my card with Dana and she can get it to you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would just say that, when you think of, I was having a conversation at breakfast this morning about the deeper elements of poverty and how you get families out of poverty, and when you think of some of the most critical factors to getting out of poverty, it's education. And so if we're starting young with young people when they're in school and providing them with the basic elements to be successful in education when they're in school, like a good hearty breakfast to start the day off, you think about a real systemic effort and strategy to turn poverty, and that's what I think of what you do and what you provide, and I just want to again encourage you, and we're so grateful to be able to provide this for the residents of Franklin County through the programs and services that work with you. So thank you for your work, and looking forward to continue working with you. If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 290-17.
Second.
Moved and second voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 290-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 291-17, authorizing a one-year contract with Heart of Ohio Family Health Center to provide under- and uninsured Franklin County residents with increased access to quality health care in the amount of $95,000.
This resolution would really extend the reach of Heart of Ohio Family Health Center in being able to follow women who have, to assure that they're receiving their pap smears as they should, and following up with them to really make sure that if there's an abnormal screen, that they connect them with the services they need. Another issue that they will be able to address with this funding is their hypertensive patients, making sure that they get the hypertension under control. Obviously, when you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, it never leads anywhere good. And another issue they'll work on is their patients who come in and test with an A1C level that measures it's sort of an overtime snapshot, like a 3-month window of the average of what your blood sugars has been. So for people who present in their clinics with an A1C level that's high, they work with them to make sure that they get it down consistently under 9, and they will also work with pregnant moms to reduce the number of low birth weight babies. So,
and they are a federally qualified
yes, they are.
Health agency,
yes,
which is good.
Absolutely. So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So if there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 291-17.
Second.
Moved in second voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 291-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 292-17, authorizing a one-year contract with Ohio Alliance for Arts Education to provide high-quality arts education to children from low-income families and schools in the amount of $300,000.
This resolution really strengthens the Ohio Alliance for Arts Education to really be able to reach out in the county with 3 programs, Artists in School, Art in the House, and Transit Arts. So I had the opportunity to observe the Art in Schools program. It really takes place during the after-school hours, and it really complements the art education that the children would be receiving during the week. And one of the things, speaking to the issue of really linking our community partners, they have a fantastic program. The children were very, very interested in art, and it's really a privilege being able to participate in the class. So they had 0 behavior issues, because if children don't behave well in the after-school art program, then they can't attend it anymore. And so they were all absolutely right on point with their manners. I noticed when I was visiting the after-school program, it was one of the ones that they had in partnership with the Community Development for All People on the south side. They said, well, we used to have after-school meals, but we don't have them now, and I don't know why. So, of course, my mother antenna came right up out of my head, and I made that connection with Children's Hunger Alliance. I reached out to John Edgar at Community Development for All People and connected him with Shannon Amos at Children's Hunger Alliance, and I said, if somebody dropped the ball, we're not sure what happened, but this is a site where there are plenty of children after school, and they are used to receiving a meal. They all qualify in this building. So we were able to make that connection with 2 of our community partners. So
That's great. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 292-17.
I'll second.
Moved in second voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Absolutely.
Resolution
Yes.
number 292-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 293-17, authorizing a one-year contract with Sid Public Service Association to provide enhanced EBT services for low-income Franklin County residents in the amount of $15,000.
This resolution is a win-win-win all the way around. It allows low-income Franklin County residents who have an EBT card to go to participating farmers markets, and they receive a dollar-for-dollar match every transaction up to $10 to be able to access fresh, locally grown fruits and vegetables. So how can you find fault with that? It's great all the way around. Supports our local farmers, our farmers markets, and it really helps to make that connection to give that extra encouragement to purchase fresh fruits and vegetables with that EBT card. And we are very fortunate this morning to have Adam Schrader, who is the manager of the Pearl Market, and we also have Rachel Tace, who's here from Harmonious Homestead, and they are available to answer questions if there are any.
Come on up, guys. Welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for having us today. I'm thrilled to be here. It's hard to believe that about 4 years ago I stood here and we sought initial funding for 6 markets. This year we're back and ready to go. The growing season is looking great after what looked like a very shaky winter. I spoke with one of my farmers yesterday, and he's thinning his peach trees because he's expecting such a bumper crop this year. So hopefully you'll be able to walk over to Pearl Market and get some peaches and some of Champ Henson's corn. We're expanding to 13 sites this year, 11 in Franklin County. Rachel will speak more to that in just a minute, but on behalf of Sid Public Services and Pearl Market and Veggie Snaps, we thank you not only for your previous support and hopefully continued support, but just the access to fruits and vegetables that this money is providing to people that need it. We're hearing it over and over this morning, and I'm sure you guys do all year long. Just the need for food access is so prevalent, not only in Franklin County, but nationwide. And the money that you provide, Veggie Snaps, goes such a long way in doing that. So thank you.
Well, you hear also, we were talking about health issues and diabetes and other health concerns, and nutrition goes a long way toward mitigating those issues as well, so thank you.
Well, Rachel, I'm anxious to hear about this expansion, so go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I'm an urban farmer in Clinton Township of Franklin County, and I serve as the manager for Veggie Snaps. So we're doing a couple of exciting new things this year. We're trying to go deeper into the existing markets and provide better service to the existing markets, because we've seen a lot of growth where we stay consistent, where people know, farmers markets are kind of fly-by-night entities where they pop up on the corner one for 3 or 4 hours and then they're gone. So for a customer who's an EBT customer who needs fruits and vegetables daily, hopefully, but at least weekly, we want to really go deeper into the existing customers who are there, and we're going to offer a Bring a Friend campaign later in the summer, where it's really the height of the season, and we have the tomatoes and corn to try to help get the neighbor-to-neighbor interaction to get people to engage with their neighborhood markets. But the other thing that's happening is there is development of a statewide network for these incentive programs. So Veggie Snaps serves Central Ohio, but there are similar programs in Cincinnati and Cleveland and Stark County. And the statewide network received a large sum of funding from the Ohio Department of Health to develop capacity so that we can begin to offer these kinds of incentive programs throughout the state, and including at retailers like grocers, where the majority of people we know get their food. We want to incentivize SNAP customers and really all people to choose the healthier option and the locally sourced option. Because the exciting thing is not only are we giving essentially incentive dollars to customers, but the farmers are receiving those incentive dollars. So in Central Ohio, we were able to kind of increase the purse for local vegetable growers by $18,000 last year, and we have sites on above $20,000 this year. So there's, like you said, there's a triple bottom line, and we really appreciate your support.
Well, this is great stuff. I talk about Veggie Snaps like all year long. And so the fact that this expansion and that you guys are looking to go deeper is just fantastic, and just going to hopefully serve more and more folks. And we've been working on this thing for a while now, and it's just it's great stuff. And Commissioner Henson's a good friend. Champ is not only is he a grower and one of your he's at not only Pearl Market, but also at the Clintonville Farmers Market as well, but he's also a county commissioner in Pickaway County, and so he gets this issue better than most. He and his family have been growing produce for generations now, and he's a good friend of mine, and we talk about this stuff all the time, and I love going down to his farm.
Yeah, and I saw you last year at Westgate.
Yeah.
We appreciate visits and are always welcome to tour anyone around.
That was something else, going out there for the first day. I couldn't believe the crowd out there. I couldn't believe how successful it was on its first day out there. That was something else. I was disappointed this spring. Champ is under construction down at his farm, and so we didn't get to go down and butcher hogs this year. And I have casings in my freezer that I don't know what I'm going to do with. We got to make sausage, so we're gonna have to figure that out. But I'll go down. I'll definitely be down this summer making pickles and stuff. So,
great.
But anyway, it's that time. We're getting ready to start planting, I guess. So. It's exciting to have you guys here. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 293-17.
Second.
Please.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 293-17 has been adopted.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Dan.
Commissioners.
Human Resources.
Resolution number 294-17, authorizing the settlement of workers' compensation claims against the county by Jason Wonk in the amount of $3,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rob Young, representing Human Resources. Jerry Bauer, representing Risk Management. This resolution settles a denied workers' compensation claim for the minimum amount of $3,000. Pending any questions, request approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 294-17.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 294-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 295-17, approving the updated Franklin County Board of Commissioners Employee Handbook.
Yeah, Commissioners, we've had the employee handbook last updated in March 2015, and we have some clarification from current practice and some new things in there, and I think it's attached to your resolution. So pending any questions, we request approval of the resolution.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 295-17.
I'll second, and thank you for the update needed.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 295-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 296-17, authorizing May 16, 2017 as the Franklin County Commissioners Employee Recognition Day in the amount of $2,000.
It's that time of year again. Our employee recognition program will be May 16th at 2 o'clock downstairs. This resolution is to approve spending up to not to exceed $2,000 on refreshments, flowers, and ancillary items that will be used that day. Regarding the foods, we had 3 bids, and AVI came in at the lowest. So pending any questions, request approval of the resolution.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 296-17.
Second.
Moved to second voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 296-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 297-17, approving personnel actions.
And we have one this week, a new hire at Job and Family Services. So pending any questions, request approval of the resolution.
No comments or questions, move for passage of 297-17.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 297-17 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Purchasing Department. Thanks, Rob.
Resolution number 298-17, approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $610,898.60.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carl Cuse, representing the Purchasing Department. The resolution before you requests for approval of 99 purchase orders. These purchase orders have been pre-certified as availability fund by the county auditor. If any questions, I recommend their approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 298-17.
Second.
Moved to second voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 298-17 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carl. Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 299-17, authorizing the county administrator to enter into an agreement with the University of Wisconsin's Shelter Medicine Program for review, recommendations, and ongoing consultation with the Franklin County Dog Shelter and Adoption Center in the amount of $50,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Long, Deputy Administrator. Following the outbreak last fall, the Board called for an outside independent professional review of the event and an overall review of shelter policies and practices in order to provide national best practices in an ongoing, forward-looking manner. The Board was fortunate to receive a proposal from the University of Wisconsin Shelter Medicine Program. The University of Wisconsin Shelter Medicine Program is nationally respected. Their program has assisted more than 166 shelters nationally and internationally with an objective to provide shelters and communities with life-saving, practical, and cost-effective advice that supports animal health and welfare. We're looking forward to their engagement and believe that the ongoing consultation, which is a part of the proposal, will ensure the successful implementation of the recommendations and will be very valuable going forward. Pending any questions, we ask for your approval.
Deputy Administrator, I wasn't here for briefing, so this may have been answered in briefing, but what's the time frame in terms of a report back from the University of Wisconsin with, and does that include recommendations, or what should we expect?
It will absolutely include written, practical recommendations, and then an ongoing, up to a 1 year, and if needed beyond that, ongoing consultation. We're working through the final elements of the agreement with the University of Wisconsin. It's just a process in terms of going across the states to get the final details worked out. But as soon as they're up and running, that will be part of the, hopefully within, when they physically come, when they will make a physical presence, before they leave, they will have some recommendations even before they leave, so they can start that ongoing engagement, and then they will reduce those into written ongoing recommendations.
Do we have a time frame, though, and turnaround? What we should expect the recommendations initial?
Yes, within, certainly in terms of the in-person recommendations, immediate, and then within, I believe the initial proposal has within 120 days for the full report and recommendations, but we will be having that immediately and ongoing throughout that entire process. They've also indicated and requested in the proposal that upon request they will be able to be here for either in-person or ongoing phone consultations, and certainly consultations with the shelter staff in an ongoing way.
Thank you so much. If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 299-17.
I'll second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 299-17 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 300-17, establishing the Franklin County Advisory Council and Economic Inclusion for the Franklin County Board of Commissioners.
Good morning, Commissioners. Keena Smith, Deputy Administrator. This resolution establishes the Franklin County Advisory Council on Economic Inclusion as an enhancement to the board's commitment to supporting and growing small and emerging businesses. The members of this new council will make policy recommendations to this board on breaking down barriers to full economic and workforce participation by all our residents, reducing the prosperity gap, and fostering a more competitive Franklin County. Pending any questions, I request approval of this resolution.
I just want to add that, I'm really grateful that the county is, I think, taking a leadership role in this conversation. One, being able to evaluate ourselves, but also participate in a broader conversation. As we know, the City of Columbus is also doing a study right now to look at their own inclusionary policies and whatnot, and I think it's fitting for the county in a timely manner to begin to think about it for ourselves as well. And so I certainly appreciate the support of my colleagues, but also the work of our staff in being able to diligently put this together and begin the process of thinking about ways to be more inclusive. So thank you for bringing this resolution forward.
And I would like to also add my thanks to everybody involved. And Kevin, thank you for bringing this to the forefront right away. We've been looking at ways to be inclusive, but not in a strategic way, and I think this gives us the opportunity to be far more strategic in our approaches to how we look at inclusion of all of the people in our community, and how we as a county look at our policies as we look at employment and other things. And this is a good step. So thank you. And thank you, Keena, for doing the work that you've done to bring this forward.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 300-17.
Second.
Moved and second voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 300-17 will be adopted. Resolution number 301-17, authorizing agreement with Ethiopian Tihuaho Social Services to serve as fiscal and administrative agent to assist the New American Advisory Council in the amount of $5,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Choleric with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution would authorize the County Administrator to enter into an agreement with ETSS to serve as fiscal and administrative agent to assist the New American Advisory Council in carrying out its mission, including the convening of the 2017 New American Forum on May 10th of this year. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
I have one question about what fiscal services you anticipate needing to be done. I was not here in briefing. What is anticipated in terms of expenses and fiscal services?
I think some of it is to coordinate with the New American Forum if there's any donations that come in to kind of handle any of the finances there, just to help the council out.
I'll add a little bit to that. I mean, that's exactly right. So for the advisory forum, for the council, New American Advisory Forum, there have been a number of private entities that have illustrated interest in sponsoring the event. And so they will be, so most of the event will be paid for by private funds, but we need a fiscal officer to sort of manage the fiscal receiving of those funds as well as the spending of those. And so ETSS agreed to do that, and so these funds are for those services, if I'm saying that correctly. So.
Wonderful.
But the event will be paid for by funds that are raised privately.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 301-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 301-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 302-17, appointing Nathan P. Weimer to the Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Services Board.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Janis, Deputy Administrator. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of this new appointment.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for passage of 302-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 302-17 has been adopted. Resolution number 303-17, appointing members to the Columbus and Franklin County Local Food Board.
Commissioners, last November you all adopted the Columbus and Franklin County Local Food Action Plan. It's a guiding strategy for strengthening the local food economy, improving access to healthy, affordable food, and preventing, recovering, and recycling food waste. At that time, you also established the structure for a local food board to oversee, prioritize, and guide the implementation of that plan. The board is to be comprised of 12 members, 6 appointed by the City of Columbus, 6 appointed by the Board of County Commissioners. This resolution makes the first 5 of those 6 appointments to the council. Pending any questions, would recommend approval of the resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 303-17.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 303-17 has been adopted.
Thank you,
Sir,
Commissioners.
do we have any journalizations?
No, we don't.
Okay, being that there's none, that concludes our business. We'll see everybody next week.